My name is Rich Davis. I'm chair of the board, and it's my privilege to welcome you all to this event. The Legal Aid Society has an extraordinary staff which does every day, in every week, and every month, every year, fighting for justice, fighting the good cause for people who desperately need help. And they do a great job. But their ability to do the job is enhanced in an extraordinary way by the work that you all do. Indeed, we could not affect the hundreds of thousands of people, indeed, including our law firm work, the millions of New Yorkers, without your assistance. You keep people in their homes, real people, real families, who, without your help, might be on the street. You help the homeless have some sense of hope by trying to preserve some rights for them. You help people maintain benefits that without those benefits, they may not be able to pay the rent. You help immigrants coming to this country for a better life as they struggle against an increasingly offensive, if to use a mild word, system that's been created to try and stop what really is what has made America great, and that is our open arms to people from other countries as they seek a better life. And you have helped make our criminal justice system a fairer system through work that you have done. So you should all feel very proud of yourselves for the work that you do and the work that you help in working with the society to make this city a better place. So in addition to saying welcome, I say on behalf of the board, thank you. You really are we are in your debt for all your assistance. And special thanks, of course, not only to all the firms who are being honored tonight, but to Jennifer Croman from Cleary, who is the recipient of the Public Interest Law Leadership Award, and to my friends at Debevoise and Plimpton, who are recipients of the 2019 Honorable Jonathan Lippman, New York Pro Bono Publico and Public Service Law Firm Award. Special kudos to them. So I'm now going to hand it off to our CEO, Attorney-in-Chief, Janet Sable. Yes, she deserves the applause. Janet joined us in January after 8 years of the State Attorney General's office in increasingly senior positions, but she was coming home because she had spent her entire career before then at the Legal Aid Society in a variety of roles, including by the time she left General Counsel and Chief Administrative Officer. So welcome, Janet.
Thanks, everyone. And before I get started, I wanted to state a big thanks to our pro bono team, Lou Sartori and his whole team who put this amazing event together. You all get to work with them day in and day out, and really the amount of coordination that they bring to this effort is phenomenal and not easy to do. I mean, there are a lot of you in this room. Imagine what it's like for a team of 3 or 4 to be coordinating with you and making sure everything works smoothly all the time, much less for this event. So thank you to the pro bono group. So Legal Aid was founded on the principle that no person should be denied the right to equal justice. And the Legal Aid Society, with a staff of 2,200 employees, provides outstanding individual representation to thousands of New Yorkers every year. What we learn from that work and what we learn from our clients and what we learn from the communities we serve is that we have to do more than just respond to justice. We need to strive to eliminate injustice. And that's why the Legal Aid Society, working with a coalition of community groups together, fought for tenants' rights in Albany. And that's why the Legal Aid Society demanded that children be treated as children and that raise the age become a law. And now we're working hands down to implement the new law fairly and effectively. And that's why the Legal Aid Society worked to overhaul the entire criminal justice system in New York this past year, joining with affected communities and public defenders statewide to push the legislature to rewrite the pretrial discovery laws and pass comprehensive bail reform. These are just a handful. These are huge things, and they're just a handful of our policy victories. But whether big or small, every policy victory that we have been part of has come from the front lines and from the work that we've done in every office with every individual client. And you all were a part of that work and every aspect of the work that we've done. The scope of the work you made possible is broad. Defending persons charged with crimes, representing community organizations, advocating for Medicaid recipients, representing youth and enforcing educational rights for our young clients, advocating to retain and improve low-income housing, fighting for police transparency, fighting deportations on every ground imaginable, representing low-income workers, advocating for tenant associations. It can go on and on. Rich already gave you other things that aren't even on my list. So tonight is all about all of you. It's our chance to thank you for the time and energy and passion that you bring and you've brought to the work with the Legal Aid Society and for our clients. Your commitment makes our work possible. It truly does. We cannot imagine trying to do everything that you've done without you. It wouldn't happen. So now, if you didn't already consider yourself an honored member, we welcome you to the family of the Legal Aid Society. You will find that this legal aid experience connects you to people across the entire legal community, not just in New York City. I was in Maine last weekend and met 5 people in Portland, Maine, who had worked at the Legal Aid Society in some capacity or another. And this connection to legal aid also is a connection that we share tonight with our keynote speaker and presenter, the Honorable Edwina Mendelssohn. Judge Mendelssohn, who is the Deputy Chief Administrative Judge for Justice Initiatives, a great title, was once a staff attorney in our Bronx office, our Bronx Civil Office, representing clients in housing court. Judge Mendelssohn is here today not just because of her legal aid affiliation, although that is important to us, but because of her inspired work since 2003 as a family court judge and the critical role that she plays within the New York State court system to ensure meaningful access to justice for all New Yorkers in all of the courts in which we practice. Judge Mendelssohn, who is now a Court of Claims judge, oversees the Access to Justice programs, which brings volunteer resources to serve unrepresented litigants in New York courts. She's a member of the Permanent Commission on Access to Justice, which Legal Aid is also a member of, and she provides leadership, it seems from talking to her, on literally everything that goes on in the courts, but certainly with respect to child welfare, adolescent justice issues. And she oversaw the implementation of the new law to raise the age of criminal responsibility in New York State. This reform was long overdue. Judge Mendelssohn is deeply committed to serving the very communities that we serve at the Legal Aid Society, and we couldn't be more honored to have her talk to you tonight and to thank all of you for your contributions to justice for all.
That was so kind. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right, notebook over notebook here. So I thank you, Janet, for your kind introduction, and I thank you for all the that the Legal Aid Society does to provide justice, equal justice for all. So it is truly my privilege to be here with you this evening as we celebrate, as mentioned, more than 30 years ago. We won't say how many more than 30 years ago, but it was more than 30 years ago. I did begin my career with the Legal Aid Society, Civil Division. We were divisions then, not practices. The Civil Division in the Bronx, my hometown. And that was after serving as an intern in the Harlem Legal Aid Civil Division office when I was at CUNY Law School. So I owe my passion, my commitment to civil justice issues and all justice issues to the skills I learned early in my journey from the Legal Aid Society. So I owe this fine organization so very much. This has been a delightfully busy month, October. Not necessarily in such beautiful space as this, but all over the country. We are celebrating attorneys and law firms and their teams of paralegals and support staff who provide pro bono service to make our world better for others, providing for the legal needs of low income and other vulnerable populations. I appear here this evening from Albany, where earlier today I participated in a statewide access to justice meeting with legal service providers and court leaders from all over the state, strategizing on how to promote and provide true access to justice to those in need. And I rudely left early. I snuck out at lunch. They're just going to have to forgive me because I wasn't going to miss this wonderful event and the opportunity to share in honoring you this evening. I cannot overstate the importance of pro bono service to fill what we call a justice gap in our state and country. In these harsh times, there is an ever-growing need for pro bono attorneys like yourselves, and we are seeing an unprecedented response to this need, as this very, very full room represents. Hundreds of you in this room answered the call, representing the thousands of you who are serving in pro bono. And we are doing it in a wonderful state. New York State is a national leader when it comes to promoting access to justice. And our primary method of providing justice is by direct legal services, such as that provided by the Legal Aid Society, which is, today, earlier this evening, I mentioned to someone, isn't Legal Aid the largest public interest law firm in the country? And I was corrected. No, the world. Okay. And the service that is provided in terms of direct legal services to those, to people who are having challenges with the essentials of life that we with privilege take for granted is so, so important. And Legal Aid does this with its civil division, its criminal division. I'm sorry, practice. I will practice saying practice, I promise. It's civil practice, it's criminal practice, and it's juvenile rights practice with remarkable skill and impact. Our judiciary in New York State recognizes the importance of legal services and directly providing for legal services for low income and other vulnerable New Yorkers. First, under the leadership of former Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman, who you wisely named a wonderful award after, and continued and expanded under our current Chief Judge Janet D. Fiore. Our courts do provide $100 million directly from our own budget, of course with the thanks and support of the legislature and the governor, to provide direct legal services for the essentials of life. That's worth applauding. And I'll share what's not a secret anymore, because just this morning, Chief Judge Di Fiore presented at that meeting in Albany and opened up the meeting by saying that she heard the call and she is going to recommend increasing that number in this year's budget. As significant as our commitment to providing for direct legal services by phenomenal organizations like the Legal Aid Society, we recognize that that is not enough. We could not possibly do all that needs to do to provide justice without the critical assistance of law firms, corporations, and private lawyers like those we honor tonight, willing to give of their time, their talent, their expertise to help those with unmet legal needs. Pro bono attorneys are key to providing justice. We've heard about the examples, preventing housing evictions and resulting homelessness, ensuring that the homes that people live in are indeed livable, so repairs that are being made, providing for advocacy for domestic violence survivors and human trafficking survivors, ensuring the educational needs for children in foster care, ensuring public entitlements for those who suffer with disabilities or other vulnerabilities, ensuring entitlements for and preventing discrimination against immigrants, and so very much more. Whatever role it is that you play, in whatever type of case, you're touching lives, making a real difference, and not just for your clients, and that's what's most important, making a difference for your clients, making a difference in our city, in our state, in our country, in our world, and for our system of justice. Those who know me know that I speak in paragraphs, I don't speak in sentences, but I'm almost done. But I'm not going to end without a personal note of thanks to Karen Guttheil and Lou Sartori. We've known each other for those many decades. I could say we worked together, but that would be a fib. We were adversaries over and over and over again. I could not be more delighted to know that they are leading this important pro bono work for the Legal Aid Society, and I get to work with them again, lucky me. I also want to applaud and acknowledge Adrian Holder, Tina Luongo, Dawn Mitchell, and the other leaders of the Legal Aid Society for all they do to make our world better. And you're fabulous. And your fabulous new leader who isn't quite new to the Legal Aid Society, Janet Sable. Thank you for allowing me to share in this time. Oh, guess what? We get to take glamorous pictures and give out really cool looking awards. Let's get to it.
Thank you, Judge Mendelssohn. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lou Sartori, and together with Karen Guttheil, our supervising attorney, Rosemary Harabay, our pro bono coordinator, and Andrew Childers, the pro bono administrator, we make up the pro bono practice at the Legal Aid Society. Each year, Legal Aid Society staff work with thousands of volunteers from the private bar, providing life-changing legal assistance to clients in every borough. It is our privilege and our honor to help facilitate, coordinate, and grow these relationships, which are so important to legal aid's work. My work at the pro bono practice began in 2011. Coincidentally, and for the clients of the Legal Aid Society, fortunately, that is when our first honoree began her tenure as director of pro bono at Cleary Gottlieb. At this time, we'd like to ask Jennifer Croman to come up. Okay. So in your programs, you'll see a short bio including some of Jennifer's accomplishments. I won't read the bio, although I could since I wrote it. But what you should know about Jennifer Croman is that she is fearless, authentic, compassionate, ethical. One might even call her badass. She's also universally respected and genuinely liked by her colleagues. And the reason for that is, it's never about her. It's about meeting client needs. It's about being a good partner. It's about recognizing, attacking, and eliminating injustice. But it's never about her, except for tonight. So on behalf of the Legal Aid Society and the clients that we serve, I am proud to present Jennifer Croman with the 2019 Public Interest Law Leadership Award and salute her dedication to legal aid's mission that no person should be denied the right to equal justice. Congratulations. At this time, I please ask you to welcome Adrian Holder, attorney in charge of the civil practice, Tina Luongo, attorney in charge of the criminal defense practice, and Dawn Mitchell, attorney in charge of the juvenile rights practice.
Good evening. Again, I'm Adrian Holder. I'm the attorney in charge of the civil practice. The theme of tonight's awards, Justice in Every Borough, reflects the Legal Aid Society's commitment to all people in New York City who are still unable to obtain access to justice.
Good evening, I'm Tina Longo, and I'm the attorney in charge of the criminal defense practice. By announcing our commitment to justice in every borough, we are taking an opportunity to celebrate the breadth and scope of our work, move away from the siloed practices and worlds in which we all live, recognizing the importance of our diversity and the inclusion of that diversity, and honor the strength and commitment of our entire staff of 2,000 people at the Legal Aid Society. Good evening, my name is Dawn Mitchell, and I am the attorney in charge of our juvenile rights practice. Justice in every borough is not just words. It is our promise to our colleagues and our communities and ourselves that we will never lose sight of the impact of our work in every community. We will not just defend, but champion the rights of our clients, and we will never allow any person to be denied the right to justice.
So we're so very proud because tonight you will meet Legal Aid Society staff from every borough and from every practice. These lawyers have all worked for many hours alongside pro bono volunteers and have taken the time to recognize their work by submitting a nomination for a Pro Bono Publico award. As they introduce you to the work, we hope you begin to see and get a sense of just how the Legal Aid Society provides justice in every borough. So we will get on with it tonight, and thank you.
So in your programs, you will see that we have broken down the awards by borough, and so we have asked legal aid staff from the borough and our citywide practices to help us by talking a little bit about their work and the work of the Legal Aid Society in general. So introducing our awards for Staten Island are Christopher Pashota, attorney in charge of the Richmond County Criminal Defense Trial Office, and Rebecca Novick, director of our citywide health law unit.
On behalf of Staten Island, good evening. The Legal Aid Society on Staten Island has established itself as an impactful advocate for our neighbors. We represent nearly 8,000 clients in criminal and Supreme Court, 2,500 children in our family court, over 5,000 clients with civil legal services, including 900 maintaining their homes and preserving affordable housing. Our citywide health law practice has handled over 1,000 matters related mostly to Medicare.
Law firms recognized tonight, working alongside the staff of Legal Aid, have defended the rights of the accused in criminal appeals, protected the right to confidential communications with counsel, provided a community organization with representation in a trademark dispute, received class certification and survived a motion to dismiss in a case demanding Medicaid coverage for medically necessary dental care, filed an amicus in the U.S. Supreme Court challenging discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity.
So on behalf of the clients in Richmond County and throughout the city, we thank you for your services and your assistance. Thanks.
At this time, we'd invite the representative from the following firms to come up on the left side of the podium to receive their awards. Davis, Polk, and Wardwell. Accepting the award on behalf of the firm is Lara Buchwald, Legal Aid Society board member. Freed Frank, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Pro Bono Counsel, Jennifer Collier. Goodwin Proctor, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Legal Aid Society board member Tom Merriam. Apparently Tom couldn't be with us tonight. Morvillo Abramowitz, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Jeremy Temkin. Patterson, Belknap, Webb, and Tyler, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Jean Galertner. White and Case, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Worldwide Pro Bono Manager, Patrick Rickerford. You're welcome. Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Legal Aid Society board member and Legal Aid volunteer, Bart Schwartz.
And I get to take it away?
You get to take it.
Okay, thanks, Lou.
Careful, careful.
And Wilmer Hale, accepting the award, Debo Agdegbail. Did I say it right? Oh, I don't think Debo is able to join us tonight. Introducing our awards for Brooklyn are Karen Schreiber and Megan Walsh, staff attorneys in the Civil Practices Brooklyn Neighborhood Office, and Teresa Moser, staff attorney in our citywide Juvenile Rights Special Litigation and Law Reform Unit.
Hello. Having the largest population of the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn represents a significant number of clients served by legal aid. Last year, staff handled nearly 15,000 matters for Brooklynites needing civil legal assistance, more than half focusing on housing. Our Brooklyn Juvenile Rights Office advocated on behalf of 453 child clients impacted by the juvenile justice system and worked on close to 12,000 child welfare matters. The Prisoners' Rights Project worked with over 1,600 clients detained in both New York City and New York State.
Honorees working with legal aid staff have represented a child client alleged to have been abducted from Guatemala and unlawfully brought to Brooklyn in a case brought under the Hague Convention, defended Medicaid recipients in disputes with the New York City Human Resources Administration, demanded police transparency and challenged illegal gang databases, secured a significant award for the mother of a client with serious mental health needs who ended his life while in Department of Correction custody after they failed to file proper procedures.
Honorees working with legal aid staff have fought for 70 formerly homeless families to retain possession of rent-regulated apartments after the city failed to keep their promise of permanent housing, and advocated for a tenants association whose building was in complete disrepair and compelled the landlord to remedy the lack of heat and hot water and fix malfunctioning bathrooms and kitchens.
Thank you. Our honorees representing Brooklyn are Arnold and Porter. Accepting the award on behalf of the firm is Jeffrey Fuse. Cravath, Swain, and Moore. Representing the firm, Nicole Varney, Legal Aid Society board member. Apparently, Nicole was not able to join us. Oh, she's coming. Oh, good, good, good.
Somebody's coming.
Yes, that's fine. Come. Representing DLA Piper, Aditi Eliswarapu. Yes. Representing Friedman Kaplan, Danielle Tepper. Representing Kramer Levin, Stephen Sparling. Representing O'Melveny and Myers, Emily Atwater. Representing Oric, Legal Aid Society board member Alex Chachix. And now for Queens. Representing Queens, from our Queens, oh, Wild Gotcho. My apologies. I do apologize. We were not informed that who was going to be receiving the award. I wasn't sure if they were here. Wild Gotcho, please come up. Thank you.
Somebody come up.
Accepting the award for Wild Gotcho, former partner Rich Davis. And now to Queens. Tashi Lewa is a staff attorney in our Queens neighborhood office, and his practice focuses on consumer law. And Beth Krause is a supervising attorney in our citywide immigration law unit.
So no borough is as diverse as Queens, and Legal Aid's work there reflects a diversity of services. Our Queens neighborhood office worked on behalf of more than 15,000 clients on issues relating to public benefits, disability, and foreclosure, as well as more than 1,600 cases matters focusing on immigration. The Juvenile Rights Education Advocacy Project, which advocates for appropriate early intervention, special needs, and student transfer, has represented nearly 350 children citywide, including 79 in Queens. And our criminal defense practice helped over 33,000 clients from Queens, and the Community Justice Unit conducted 28 community outreach events in the borough with our 3 Cure Violence partners.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with the staff of Legal Aid, the firms being recognized tonight have, excuse me, attacked the federal government's plan to deny special immigration status to vulnerable immigrant youth who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected, and won on behalf of a class estimated by the government to be close to 8,000 young people. Put together a compelling pardon application on behalf of a grandmother facing mandatory deportation for a decades-old drug conviction, represented victims of unscrupulous landlords who fraudulently subleased commercial space, then failed to provide access to the space or return funds, prepared an appellate brief on behalf of the birth mother of 2 children in foster care who desperately wished to maintain their relationship, and battled to prevent the unjust deportation of a lawful permanent resident with serious mental health issues.
Our first firm award goes to Freshfields. Is there anyone here from Freshfields tonight? Yes, excellent. Latham and Watkins, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Rob Malionic. Mayor Brown, representing the firm tonight, Daniela Abadi. Mitchell, Silberberg, and Knupp, representing the firm, Timothy Carter. Penn Pack, the pro bono alumni consulting from Penn, representing the organization, Kevin Park. Proskauer, accepting the award on behalf of the firm, Legal Aid Society board member Brad Ruskin. Simpson Thatcher Bartlett, representing the firm tonight, pro bono manager Susan Cordero. And now for Manhattan. From our staff, Rolando Gonzalez, a staff attorney in our Harlem Community Law Office and a member of our Community Development Project. Susan Welber, a staff attorney in our citywide Civil Law Reform Unit. And Dodd Terry, the attorney in charge of our New York County Juvenile Rights Trial Office.
Last year in Manhattan, the Legal Aid Society represented over 73,000 clients, including 4,700 matters on behalf of clients facing eviction, inhabitable living conditions, or attempts to remove their apartments from rent controls. 5,800 petitions were brought in family court where legal aid provided direct advocacy to children and families caught up in the child welfare and juvenile justice system. It's a lot of stuff, right? And the Decarceration Project helped 491 clients fight improper and illegal bail determinations.
Together with their legal aid colleagues, pro bono volunteers assisted immigrant crime victims with applying for lawful permanent resident status, staffed clinics on behalf of DACA clients and immigrant parents preparing advance directives, and because sometimes justice in every borough isn't enough, obtained a national injunction blocking the Trump administration's new public charge rule, which, if enacted, would prevent non-citizens from obtaining family-based adjustment of status because of their receipt of housing and other lawful benefits.
And together with your legal aid colleagues, pro bono volunteers resolved a disabled client's New York State tax liability and fought the suspension of his driver's license for the unpaid debt, sued New York City to provide accurate information about their inadequate commitment of housing resources to end homelessness, and assisted 3 immigrants opening a thrift store in East Harlem with negotiating a very complicated commercial lease.
At this time, we'd ask Joseph Sorkin, LAS board member from Aiken and Gup, to come up and accept their award. On behalf of Crowell and Mooring, Ann Lee will accept the award.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
On behalf of Gibson Dunn, Shireen Bardet.
Congratulations.
For Paul Weiss, Diana McGinley.
Congratulations.
Representing Sherman and Sterling, Mallory Brennan.
Congratulations.
Accepting the award on behalf of Sidley Austin, Legal Aid Society board member Steve Bierman.
Congratulations.
Accepting the award on behalf of Skadden Arps, Brian Kraus.
Congratulations.
And accepting the award on behalf of Winston and Strawn, Legal Aid Society board member Jeffrey Kessler. Introducing our awards for the Bronx are Russell Crane, staff attorney in our Bronx neighborhood office, and Terry Rosenblatt, supervising attorney in our criminal practice DNA unit.
Hello, everyone. As the income gap continues to grow across New York City, the legal issues facing our clients become more complex. With over 1,200 employment law matters, 1,500 family law and domestic violence cases, and 400 education matters, our citywide civil practice focuses on the basic essentials of life. In the Bronx, over 7,000 cases focused on housing, including 200 foreclosures, and our juvenile rights office handled over 12,000 cases. Citywide, our criminal appeals bureau assisted over 1,300 clients.
Pro bono volunteers from collaborating firms have argued appeals involving important issues related to jurisdictional validity of an accusatory instrument. They've brought an Article 78 against a criminal court judge, which resulted in a watershed decision on genetic privacy. And they drafted a Court of Appeals amicus regarding the admissibility of two controversial DNA testing methods that also impacts the application of the Frye Standard in New York State.
Honorees have represented low-income workers on issues such as wage theft, human trafficking, and employment discrimination. Honorees I was privileged to work with obtained a dismissal of a landlord's bankruptcy proceeding on behalf of the tenant association, allowing the building to enter a program which may result in the tenants becoming the owners. Honorees also challenged the legality of USCIS policy of carrying out arrests of non-citizens in New York state courthouses without judicial warrants.
At this time, we'd ask representing Cahill-Gordon, Landis Best, to come up. On behalf of Cleary Gottlieb, we'd ask Jennifer Croman to accept the award.
Now it's later, I'm tired. You've already been called badass.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Representing Hughes Hubbard, Legal Aid Society board member, Theodore Mayer. Representing Millbank, Kevin O'Shea. Accepting the award on behalf of Petrillo, Klein, and Boxer, Amy Lester. Accepting the award on behalf of Quinn Emanuel, Tyler Whitmer. Representing Kirkland and Ellis, Jacqueline Haberfeld.
How are you? Good to see you.
And representing Ropes and Gray, Pro Bono Coordinator, Bern Harrison. Our final award tonight is the Jonathan Lippman Pro Bono Publico and Public Service Award. Presenting the award for legal aid, Adrian Holder, attorney in charge of the civil practice, and Hassan Shafiqullah, attorney in charge of the immigration law unit.
Stand together. Yes. This award is presented annually to the law firm whose exceptional pro bono commitment to the Legal Aid Society and its clients has furthered Judge Lippman's mission to address the unmet legal needs of low-income New Yorkers. And this year's award goes to Debevoise and Plimpton. At this time, I would like to ask Legal Aid Society Board Member Mark Goodman, presiding partner Michael Blair, and pro bono counsel Jennifer Cowan to please join us on stage.
Last year, 97 Debevoise attorneys and paralegals provided over 4,600 hours of pro bono legal assistance to the clients of the Legal Aid Society. Working on individual matters, they protected clients from lease fraud, secured disability benefits, and advanced the rights of detained clients. By far, Debevoise's greatest impact was with our immigration law unit, where they worked on several important matters on behalf of unaccompanied minors and clients facing removal in immigration court. Working with a coalition of attorneys and advocates through the New York Immigrant Family Unity Project, or NYFAP, they brought suit in the Southern District to challenge the Department of Homeland Security's policy of refusing to allow detained clients to be present in court to meet face-to-face with counsel and have a rare opportunity to see their families.
That's okay. Through its extraordinary pro bono commitment to the Legal Aid Society and its clients, Debevoise and Plimpton, LLP, has clearly demonstrated that the firm shares Judge Lippman's goal of making equal justice for all, not just an ideal, but a reality.
That concludes our formal program. I want to thank everyone for making this night so special for our volunteers and staff. If you individually or your group of honorees would like to have a photo with Legal Aid leadership and Judge Mendelssohn, we'll be setting up house left in the corner photos. Beth Hoffmeister will be there. Also, if you take an opportunity to see some of the artwork on your way out or you saw on the way in from Project Attica, a program that was started by Anthony Posada, supervising attorney of our community justice unit. We appreciate you all being here and all the work that you've done with us this year. Thank you.